And do you know when it's time to, and the right time to have the talk with your parents? We have Danielle Hartman from the JSF at home joining us next to help with that conversation. Well, Florida ranks first in the nation when it comes to the number of people aged 60 or older. But how do you know when it's time your loved one needs to take the next step in their care? We have Danielle Hartman, the president and CEO of the Ruth and Norman Rales Jewish Family Services, joining us now to talk about this very kind of hard conversation to have with your parents and when you kind of hit that threshold. Right. When is the right time to have that conversation that they may need some additional care?
Right. I think early is better. A lot of times what happens is there is no preparation, and then all of a sudden a loved one, an adult child, comes to visit over the holiday and they see that mom or dad is not doing well at all, and it becomes a crisis, and then it becomes a scramble. So I think beginning the conversation as early as possible, even before there's any problem, is the best time. It's just like it's hurricane season now, and we always have a plan. It's great to have a plan, even if you never enact the plan, but to have the conversation and come up with different scenarios. If mom or dad is able to stay at home, if they can't stay at home, what happens when maybe they can't drive safely anymore? Those conversations just make it all the easier to implement the plan when it's time.
How do you approach that kind of conversation that they may not be as independent as they would like to be?
It is a very touchy subject. It's probably the most frequent question that we get from people who are calling to ask for how do we start that conversation. So, you know, it has to come from a place of love and of concern. You want to start with how much you care about them and how much you want them to be safe. You know, most often seniors want to stay in their home, and that's actually the most comfortable place for them to be because that's where they've lived for so many years. I think a part of the fear of the conversation is people don't want to leave their home. So, you know, when you're down, you can start by having a conversation about safety in the home. You know, looking in the bathroom. Are there grab bars in the shower? What can we do to make sure that the adult can stay home safely? Then you can ease into the next step. Well, mom, have you ever thought about living in an assisted living, or would you rather stay at home? Because if you know what your parents' wishes are, then you can plan that next step.
And they feel more part of the process. And what is JFS at Home?
So JFS at Home is a private duty home care agency. We started 3 years ago. We serve Palm Beach County. It began as an affiliate program of Jewish Family Services. So we're one of the very few nonprofit home cares in Palm Beach County, which makes us a little bit unique because all of the profits from JFS at Home go back to JFS and help people who can't afford to pay for services get the help that they need to stay living at home as well.
Such an important conversation. Thank you so much for those tips. Of course, we're going to have all the information on our website, CBS12.com. That way you can have that plan in place. And we definitely saw that during hurricane season this past year of just needing loved ones needing that care, especially if their loved ones live at a distance.
Away,
Yes. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.